Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're going deep on Daniel Kahneman's Thinking Fast and Slow.
Yeah,
This book is like packed with insights on how our minds work. It's crazy.
it really is. Thinking fast and slow. I mean, it kind of revolutionized how we think about thinking, right?
Totally.
Kahneman, he introduces this idea of the mind having two systems.
Okay.
System one, which is like fast, intuitive, and emotional.
Mm-hmm.
And system two, which is, slower, more deliberate, logical.
Is it like two little voices in my head, like arguing with each other all the time?
Ooh, that's actually a great way to think about it.
Really?
Yeah. Imagine you're like scrolling through, Instagram or whatever, and you see this delicious looking dessert.
Okay.
System one's like, cake, now, right?
Right.
But then system two may be like, hold on, you're trying to eat healthy.
Oh, that's so true.
Yeah.
That's totally me with the late night snacks,
Yeah,
like every night.
right.
So how does this play out in like, bigger decisions, like not just what I'm snacking on?
Well, think about like buying a car.
Okay.
System one might be all about that shiny red sports car.
Yeah.
But system two is there to be like, hey, shouldn't you look at like the safety ratings and the fuel efficiency and your budget too?
So system one is like the I want it now,
Mm-hmm.
and system two is like the voice of reason.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
And the thing is, system one, it's powerful.
Yeah.
It shapes so many of our thoughts and actions without us even realizing it. Like it just does.
Oh.
And it does this by using these mental shortcuts called heuristics.
Oh yeah, heuristics. Aren't those like mental rules of thumb?
Exactly. They help us make like quick judgments,
Okay.
which is, useful often, but sometimes those shortcuts lead to biases. And biases are like these systematic errors in thinking.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Can you give me like a specific example of a heuristic and how it could, I don't know, like lead me astray?
Sure. Let's say the availability heuristic. So this one makes us think that things are more likely to happen if we can easily remember like examples of them.
Okay.
So say you just watched a movie about a plane crash.
Hmm?
You might suddenly be like, oh my God, flying is so dangerous, even though statistically it's super safe.
That's so true. That's totally me with scary movies. Like every time I watch one, I think every noise in my house is a murderer,
Yeah.
like hiding in the shadows.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Our minds, they like latch on to those, vivid emotional examples, even if they don't really represent the actual probability of something happening.
Hmm.
And that's just one, that's just one example. Kahneman, he talks about a whole bunch of these biases that influence our thinking.
Like what? Give me another one.
Okay. How about anchoring?
Okay.
So this is where we kind of get fixated on the first piece of information we get, even if it's like totally irrelevant.
Okay.
Let's say you're negotiating for a used car and the seller throws out this ridiculously high price. Like first thing,
Mm-hmm.
that number might stick in your head, even if you know it's like way too much, and it could like influence how much you're actually willing to pay.
Ooh, sneaky. I bet I've fallen for that before. Are there ways to like overcome these biases?
There are. That's actually what makes, thinking fast and slow so valuable.
Okay.
By understanding these like mental quirks, we can start making choices that are more, conscious and rational.
Okay. I'm all ears. Let's talk strategies.
Well, one of the most, I guess, powerful strategies is like just being aware of your biases.
Okay.
Like once you realize that you're, susceptible to things like anchoring or the availability thing we were just talking about,
Yeah.
you can start to question your initial reactions.
So just knowing about these biases can help me make like better decisions.
Yeah.
It seems almost too easy.
It's not a magic bullet,
Yep.
Think of it like this. You're going on a hike, right? You
Right.
know there are dangerous cliffs along the trail.
Yeah.
Just being aware of those cliffs, it makes you more cautious,
Right.
They're less likely to fall off.
I like that. I like that analogy.
Yeah.
So awareness is key, but what else can I do to avoid, tumbling off those metaphorical cliffs?
Another strategy is to slow down, like engage that system too.
Yep.
When you're facing like a big decision, don't just go with your gut reaction,
Yeah.
Take some time to like really think things through,
Right.
weigh the pros and cons, and maybe, even get a second opinion from somebody you trust.
Okay. So don't just react, like reflect.
Exactly.
Okay. Are there any other like tools that I can add to my my decision-making toolkit here.
You know, Kahneman, he talks about using algorithms and checklists,
Okay.
especially in situations where consistency is really important.
So instead of relying on my intuition, which can, obviously be swayed by all of these biases, I create like a set of rules to follow.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Think about pilots using checklists before takeoff or doctors following protocols for certain procedures.
yeah, okay.
It helps reduce the risk of human error and leads to more objective decisions.
That makes a lot of sense. But how can I apply this to my everyday life?
Right.
I'm not flying planes or performing surgery.
Right, right. Well, let's take an example that's, relevant to everyone.
Okay.
Money.
Okay.
Think about investing, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, they make impulsive decisions based on fear or greed, which, often leads to bad outcomes.
Oh yeah, I've been there.
Right.
I panic when the market dips, and then I get way too excited when it's soaring. So
Right, and that's where Kahneman's, insights can be super helpful. He talks about loss aversion, which means we feel the pain of a loss much more strongly than the pleasure of an equivalent gain.
okay.
And this can lead us to make irrational choices, like holding on to losing stocks for too long.
Oh yeah.
Or avoiding investments that have the potential for great returns,
Right. So how can I avoid letting loss aversion sabotage my finances?
Well, one approach is to create a simple investment plan.
Okay.
And stick to it. Regardless of the short-term market fluctuations, you could even, automate your investments so you're not even tempted to tinker with them based on your emotions.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
It's like taking the emotion out of it and helping me just stay focused on the long game.
Right.
So I'm sensing a theme here.
Yeah.
It's all about recognizing those system 1 impulses
Mm-hmm.
and giving system 2 a chance to step in and do its thing.
Exactly. And it's not just about, finances.
Yeah.
These principles can be applied to so many areas of life: relationships, health, career decisions.
This is so insightful. It's like I'm seeing the world through this whole new lens now.
Yeah, that's the beauty of thinking fast and slow.
Sure. Yeah.
Gives us this framework for understanding not only, our own minds, but also the way that other people think and make decisions.
Okay, but what about those times when I'm just not sure what the quote unquote rational choice is?
Right.
What if there's no clear right or wrong answer?
Well, that's where another one of Kahneman's, insights comes in, the idea of framing.
Okay.
He shows how the way that information is presented can significantly influence our choices, even if the underlying options are essentially the same.
Ooh. Okay. Can you give me an example of that?
Sure. Imagine you're told that you need surgery.
Oh.
The doctor could say, this surgery has a 90% survival rate. Or they could say, this surgery has a 10% mortality rate.
Right. Okay.
Logically, it's the same information,
Yeah.
but the way it's framed can evoke very, very different emotional responses.
Yeah.
Most people find the survival rate framing much more reassuring,
Yeah.
even though the outcome is identical.
Wow. That's wild.
Yeah.
So just changing the wording can actually sway my decision.
Yeah, it can.
That's a little unsettling, to be honest.
It is. But by being aware of framing effects, we can start to see through them and make choices based on the substance of the information, not just the way that it's packaged.
This has been such an eye-opening conversation. I'm starting to feel like I have a superpower,
Mm-hmm.
the power to see through these mental illusions and make more conscious choices.
That's exactly the feeling I had when I first read, Thinking Fast and Slow.
Yeah.
It's truly empowering.
Yeah.
And the best part is the more we, apply these concepts, the better we get at using them, It's like exercising a muscle.
Oh, I love that. So
Yeah.
with practice, I can become a maestro of my own mind.
Yeah, you got it. And remember, this journey of self-discovery, it's ongoing, right? There's always more to learn about how our minds work.
It's like I've been handed this amazing toolkit for life.
Yeah,
You know?
it is. And like any good toolkit, it takes practice to master using these tools.
So it's not about like becoming a robot
Yeah.
or never trusting my gut again.
No, no, not at all.
Okay.
It's about understanding when to trust your intuition
Right.
and when to step back and engage that slower, more deliberate thinking.
So how do I know when to switch from system 1 to system 2?
That's a great question. It really depends on the situation,
Yep.
For everyday choices, like, I don't know, what to wear or what
Mhm.
to have for lunch, your gut's probably fine.
Okay.
But for like, bigger decisions with lasting consequences,
Mm.
like buying a house or choosing a career path, it's worth, slowing down and really engaging that system too.
Right. That makes sense. And I guess the more I practice, using these tools, the better I'll get at recognizing those moments when I need to shift gears.
Exactly. Think of it like learning to play a musical instrument.
Okay.
At first it's awkward and you have to think about like every note, right?
Yeah.
But with practice it becomes more fluid, more
Yeah.
intuitive.
I love that.
Yeah.
So with practice, I can become like a maestro of my own mind.
You got it. And remember, this journey of self-discovery, it's ongoing.
Yeah.
There's always more to learn about how our minds work.
This deep dive has been like truly eye-opening. I feel so much more equipped to like make more conscious and intentional choices in all areas of my life.
That's fantastic to hear. And I hope all of our deep divers out there feel the same way.
I have no doubt they do. And for those who want to go, even deeper into these fascinating concepts, we highly recommend checking out, Daniel Kahneman's Thinking Fast and Slow. It's a book that will stick with you long after you finish reading it.
It's truly a game changer.
Yeah.
And remember, the more we understand our minds,
Yeah.
the better equipped we are to create a more rational and fulfilling world
Yeah.
for ourselves and everyone around us.
Those are wise words. So there you have it, Deep Divers. Another deep dive complete.
Yeah.
Until next time, keep those minds sharp and keep exploring the fascinating world within.